All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the CoAngler Chronicles podcast. Guys, we have returned. The CoAngler Chronicles podcast has returned. My bad. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been gone for a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean like 6 months. But there's a lot going on. My life kind of shifted a whole different way away from the podcast scene into a whole other realm. So I'm back, though, and we are back. First episode back of 2024. You guys see the trophies have already come out in the first episode, so we're literally not messing around. We're going to dive right in. This podcast, if you are new here, I do cover hot topics in fishing. I cover CoAnglers, obviously, but it's not just limited to CoAnglers. I've had some amazing people on the podcast in the past. Gray Buck was grateful enough to join us on here. Jacob Bigelow joined us on here. My buddy Jason Riley joined us on here. It's been a lot of people. I've also had the pleasure of being on some podcasts, so in particular the Bass Hub podcast with Stephanie and Harvey. Had the pleasure of being on the Fishing Magicians podcast. Several different podcasts. I got another podcast interview coming up here soon myself. So there's a lot of things going on as it relates to fishing. But in particular, this one is called the CoAngler Chronicles podcast. There's been a lot of things that's happened since I've been on here. You may can tell I'm wearing a shirt here that you guys probably have never seen before in your life. Maybe you have. And I know you can't really see it this way, but it says fish only eat what I'm throwing. So this shirt is available. You guys can check it out. It's actually in my shop. The shop link will pull up on this video because I have it all like linked together somehow, but it will pull up. So this shirt is for those of us that are confident in what we're throwing, confident in what we're using, our bait that we're throwing. We know we're going to catch fish that day. This is the perfect shirt for you. So wear this out. Let everybody know. If you don't catch any fish on it, probably take it off when you get back to the ramp. Switch over to like one of your sponsor shirts, and then just wear that one and just smile and nod, get in your car and go home as quick as you can. Okay, but welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, podcast. We have returned. We are here trying to keep it interesting and exciting. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right in the first episode. This one we're gonna tackle a topic that just came out. Basically, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to keep it current. If I don't keep it very current, I'm going to just try to get some guests on here. I have maybe 8 or 9 guests lined up that I've been telling they're going to get on here for a while. So expect me to reach out to you soon because I need the guests to come on, and we'll actually talk to some different people on here. But there's a recent video put out by a YouTuber who's absolutely, blowing up insane on YouTube. And, I'm going to say hats off to him. I'm going to say hats off to him and his success on here, doing a phenomenal thing on here. He's staying in his lane and he is expressing his opinion. So I'm not gonna knock that. But in today's video, we want to talk about one of his most recent posts or recent videos. And I'll be honest with you guys, I did not watch the entire video. So me personally, just to kind of let you guys in on my world just a little bit, there's certain things in the fishing community and the fishing world that if I watch them, I'm like, Nah, because I feel a lot of times it's going to take me out of my mindset of just enjoying fishing and just going outside versus getting into these heated debates and back and forths, and they got stats and numbers and they're clashing and doing that's going to just take me out of the place I like to stay in or the realm I like to stay in where I'm enjoying the sport. I'm enjoying it. You guys can see here, I got my baits here. I got rods. My stuff here, guys. Absolutely, fishing is just something I thoroughly enjoy, and I never really want to go into that route. So when I see a topic of a video that just I'm like, oh man, why would you do that? Sometimes I immediately go watch it. Depends on how I feel that day. Right now, in the mood I'm in right now, I'm just I ain't really trying to get into more of the beef. So I'm gonna give my opinion on someone else's opinion, and I'll be honest with you right off break, you're probably gonna be a little bit surprised about my opinion on this. Okay. So we're talking CoAnglers. All right, we're going to dive right in. I know we said going to do that a few minutes ago, but we're just getting it set up. Also, I want to thank all my sponsors for putting this video on. I'm supposed to do that in the beginning of the video. I want to thank all the sponsors for helping me put this video on. Okay, we're done. All right, so diving right in. Here we go. Let's go to the video. We got I sponsor me for these videos. That's what happens. My clothing brand puts some food on the table and makes sure things go the way it needs to go. So I really would appreciate any love and support on the clothes, guys. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. So I appreciate it. But I want to dive right into the video. So it's a video on CoAnglers, and basically the gist of what I got in the highlight clips that the guy put up that I watched the highlight clips of were basically that CoAnglers are not needed. They wish that CoAnglers would just go away and they just have marshals. CoAnglers can directly affect the outcome of a day of a tournament for a boater. basically just implying that co-anglers just should not, they should not even, they shouldn't even be there. Like they should not be in the boat at all. And like I said, my opinion on this, guys, is probably going to shock you a little bit, but I'll revert back just a tad. But my opinion on this is probably going to shock you guys. 99.9% of those comments that I just made, I literally just about agree with. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Let's put it this way. I'd like to say that co-anglers are great. Co-anglers are, they're wonderful. Co-anglers are doing big things. Co-anglers is a way to transition from a co to a boater. It's a great learning tool. It's a great opportunity. All those things they are true technically right now. And I'm still signing up this season to fish as a co-angler. In spite of all this, I'm still signing up because it's an opportunity and it's there. And I'm going to take the opportunity that's there to go fish and do what it is I need to do. But I mentioned to you guys in my last video, I'm kind of transitioning a little bit more over into kayak fishing personally, because I'm just not, I want to be in control of what it is I'm doing. And also I got some other great news that I'm going to share with you guys soon, which may even change the whole course of my journey on YouTube and everything. It might change everything, because I was blessed beyond belief to be put in a position to actually maybe change that whole thing, but still related to fishing. So I'm going to share that in you soon. I'm going to do a whole video about that. I'm excited to release that video. But I'm going to say that our co-anglers are a necessary evil. Basically, co-anglers are ensure that the boaters aren't out there cheating, and the boaters aren't out there scamming, and the boaters aren't out there just all grouping up in an area together and sharing information and when, like, basically that's what they're there for in a sense. It's the same thing as a marshal, just making sure you're not breaking the rules, making sure you're out there doing the right thing that you're doing. Adding a competitive aspect to it is great. Give somebody a chance to win somebody out the back of the boat. That's great. But co-anglers 100% can directly affect the outcome of an entire person's career, season, livelihood. Everything can be affected. If you take a look at the Bassmaster Opens, it'll say, you'll look at some guys in the Bassmaster Open, and they basically, let's say they were one fish away from a limit. And by not getting that limit, they finished up in 11th place, didn't make the Elite Series. And the backstory is they would have had fish number 5, but the co-angler skipped up underneath the dock that the boater was going to skip up underneath. The co-angler skipped it first. Co-angler catches the 4.5 pounder. Co-angler's up celebrating and cheering. Guy misses the Elite Series. Okay, I'm just put it bare, simple, basic, just no frills, no extra, no nothing. The co-angler skipped up under there. Now, the dock was well within play for the co-angler. He can skip up under there. There was no rule that says he can't skip under there. That side was on an angle that he could get to. He did not impair the boater in any way. There's no reason for the co not to skip up underneath there. He did. He caught the fish. The boater would have and maybe could have took his time and actually got that fish, but he was just trying to move along, find active fish, whatever. The co's back there cleaning up the mess, and the mess just so happened to be a 4.5 pounder. The guy misses the elites because he didn't get a limit in this one tournament. Now, you say, okay, guy, if you're a boater, in my brain, you got to get it done regardless. You can't be blaming your co and blaming the guy at the boat ramp that sold you the hot dogs for breakfast. You're blaming the guy. You're blaming your cousin because he took your boat out and he didn't put your favorite crankbait back in the boat. So if you had that favorite crankbait, you would have caught the fish. And then at the family gathering the year before, somebody took your favorite towel out of the inside of your compartment, and because you didn't have that towel to wipe that sweat off your head, 2.5 years later you lost the tournament because you didn't have that towel that someone stole out of your, like, if you're going to start blaming everybody for everything because you didn't get somewhere, that, now you got bigger issues. Now you got to go root cause and figure out what happened. Like, why do you blame other people for your problems? Like, you got to go that route. But at the end of the day, in the simplest form, guy skips, other guy skips, one guy catches, one guy doesn't. The guy that doesn't is the boater who needs the fish. The co catches one fish, finishes in 98th place, doesn't get a check, basically just shares one picture on his Instagram saying, I was at the tournament. Boater misses out on achieving a childhood dream that he had since he was 5 years old to make the Elite Series. Because this guy, so what that in turn does is make it bad for every co-angler that gets in that guy's boat. So that's kind of where I'm going with this whole video, is that Ideally, co-anglers would work. Ideally, co-anglers would be a great pattern, a great thing for fishing. And guys, I want you to comment on this below. Comment below if you got some feelings or some thoughts on it, guys. I need you guys to comment in there. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation, a good, healthy conversation. I don't want a bunch of junk. If you have a valid or a good point that might can help something, get in there. But otherwise, there's no need. You're not helping the cause at all by commenting something ridiculous. But actually, every comment helps. Just comment whatever you want. I really don't care. But let's have a healthy conversation. Let's talk and let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go from there. But the real reason why that plays a role is though just because one move that somebody makes. Now, same thing. A co-angler could have 3 fish limit. The boater could have 5 fish. He could already have 25 pounds. And the boater catches a 3 1/4 that won't help him, and he throws back. That fish, if the co had a chance to catch it, the co could have made $25,000 and possibly changed his life, possibly got himself a boat, possibly showed up as a boater and not even have to deal with this next year. But the boater's still up here catching 3 1/4 because, I got maybe every bite could be a 6-pounder, okay? But now you're taking fish away from this guy. So, and honestly, the boater doesn't care. So basically, like I'm saying, the root cause of the whole problem it's a mindset thing, and this is what I'm going to talk about on a lot of my videos coming up. It's a mindset thing. So if every boater treated every co-angler with respect, and every co-angler treated every boater with respect, and everybody showed up and minded everybody's area, and everybody did what they needed to do to be successful, and opportunities were presented by the boater. If he's already got a 5 fish limit for 20 pounds and he hasn't culled in 5 catches, he lets the co get one of these 3 1/4 that he's just chucking back. And vice versa, if the co-angler's already got 15 pounds for 3 fish, he chills and let the boater stack up. Like, work together. If everybody worked together to make sure people were successful. I've been in plenty of tournaments where boaters have asked me, what am I throwing? How are you catching so many fish? What are you doing back there? I've never asked the boater what he's doing personally. I've never asked them what they're doing. If they told me, they told me. But I've never asked them. I've never been like, man, what are you throwing? You're lighting them up. If I can't see that you're throwing a white buzz bait, then I don't need to be in the boat. I need glasses. I don't need to worry about fish. I need to worry about glasses if I can't see what you're throwing. As a co, I'm out of the back. I might be a little bit sneakier than what he is. I'm throwing a little drop shot with a little special color worm I got. It's a little, and I'm jacking him. He want to know what's going on. Sometimes I tell him, sometimes I don't. I'm being honest, guys. Sometimes I will. It's burned me. Sharing information out of the back of the boat for me has burned me. I share information, then I don't catch no fish for the rest of the day. I don't share information, I come home with a trophy. Think about it. As a co, am I inclined to share and let you go catch all the fish on the bait that I found? No, I shouldn't do it. I did it and it burnt me. It's burnt me twice now. When I didn't share, I come home with a trophy. When I share after the tournament's over, I come home with a trophy. Like, I'm sorry, guys. It's a game, and you got to play the game. You have to understand how to play the game. And this is why I share a lot of the videos that I do. I want to help you guys understand things when it comes to fishing, what to do, what not to do. That's why I have a whole podcast dedicated to CoAngler Chronicles. I'm trying to help you guys out. But do I agree that co-anglers are a necessary evil? Technically, it's somebody else's boat, and it boils down to, because that's the way it's painted, and because that's the way it's shown, and because that's the mindset of a lot of people, that co-anglers are broke, co-anglers are second-rate citizens, co-anglers don't deserve to get their shoes in somebody's $90,000 boat. You being here is a problem for me. I don't know why you have to be here. I've never cheated and turned in my life. I don't know why you have to be here. You better not cast your baits where I need to cast, because that is the mindset of most boaters. A lot of boaters, I don't want to say most, a lot of boaters, some boaters, I'll say some. I'll do it that way because I'll be fair. Because that's the mindset, is that you shouldn't even be here in my boat. Why are they even making you get in my boat? You should pay for everything in my boat if you're going to get in my boat, because I got to pay for everything. Because the mindset's not going to change no matter how many conversations you have. People are set in their ways. They're not going to change their thought processes. Now, it's going to be hard to make it work. And now you add in new technology and things like that. It's going to be really hard, because as a co, the back screen that I can see gets cut off. The guy goes up on the front. He just uses live scope. He scans around. Anywhere I go to cast, he's already scanned and saw there's no fish. He knows I'm casting at water that has nothing in it. Now he knows, if you have live scope, you know that where you parked the boat at and you gave what you gave me, you know has no fish in it, because you scanned before you got up there. That's why you didn't stop. You didn't stop because you scanned that whole area and you saw there's no fish. So anywhere I'm casting, however far your scope reaches, you know that I'm casting in dead water. There's nothing there. So now as a boater, when you have live scope and you put me in the back and you know there's nothing around, you know that I'm not going to catch anything unless fish swim to my area. Which, if you're a smart boater, you're not going to put me in an area where fish are swimming too. You're going to put yourself in an area where fish are swimming too. So a very good live scope user now has a way to completely block out the co. And if you get in the boat with that guy, unless he gives you a chance, you're not going to get a chance to catch fish. Now, there's people going to get in the comments and say, man, I just throw a shaky head out and I just let there sit and I just hold it. I don't want to fish like that. I didn't sign up and pay my money to come sit and hold a shaky head and sit down and eat a sandwich. I didn't pay my money to do that. I want to compete. I want a fair chance. Because the reality is, I'm with this live scope guy who just wants me sitting there holding a shaky head, hoping for the best. Somebody else is up on the bank throwing a spinnerbait. Somebody else is going down the bank cranking. Somebody else is just going fishing and looking at the magic, or looking, just enjoying and seeing what's out there. That guy comes back. He may not catch a bunch, but he had a good day because he was doing fun stuff he loves. Don't get me wrong. I will hold a shaky head if that's what it takes to be successful. But I'm just saying, it's slowly making co-anglers not even want to participate. They don't even want to show up anymore. The numbers are steadily dropping. Dudes don't want to be a part of this because it's now it's not just you pull up and you don't think anything's there, so I have a chance because you don't know and I don't know. It's you know that there's nothing and you're going over here and you're going to leave me with nothing unless you flip the boat around. And then when you flip the boat around, it's usually time for you to take off. So by the time I cast out and let my bait sit 25 feet, you're already in your seat ready to go with your life vest on, talking about what's taking so long. So co-anglers, are they a necessary evil? Yes. Can co-anglers ruin a boater's day? 100% they can ruin a boater's day. Can a boater ruin a co-angler's day? 100% they can ruin each other's day. It's two people trying to work together. Think about it. The guy in the front of the boat may not even work together well with his own family, okay? His family may not answer his phone calls when he calls. You think he's going to treat you halfway decent? You think he's going to treat you halfway decent? He doesn't even respond to his church pastor when the church pastor asks him how he's doing. He don't reply to that guy. You think he's going to talk to you? You think he's going to spin the boat around and give you a chance? You think this co-angler that got in your boat, whose wife just cussed him out before he got here, talking about why you always fishing for 8 hours all the time, you don't never make no money, why you always going out here all this time and spending all our money, why ain't the light bill paid, why you only paid part of the mortgage? It's still due. This dude that just got an earful from his you think he's gonna get in the back of your boat and play nice? This dude needs money. He didn't get in here just because he can't afford a boat. But $2,000 would literally get this person off of his back, pay the rest of the bill that he needs. You think he ain't gonna get in there and be aggressive? You think he ain't gonna get in there and try to skip his bait somewhere he need to skip it? When you put two people that just want to do well by any means necessary, no days off, don't care, never give up, let's go, with the mindset, whether their motives are good or bad, you think they're gonna get in there and play nice? Necessary evil for both of them. It is like everybody in there. Obviously the boater has a bigger investment, but if we start talking about who invests more, then again you're going down a slippery slope where you're talking about your $100 worth more than my $100. You're saying that your boat is worth more than what this, so now I need to act different because you have a boat and I'm lesser of a person. My job may be better than yours. I may make more money than you. I just didn't choose to spend my money on $80,000 on a boat. I chose to spend my money on somewhere else. I chose to pay off my house. I chose to pay off my cars. You chose to go 20 years in debt on a boat. That the value depreciated, or maybe appreciates at this point, but you chose to take a 20-year loan out on a boat. I chose to pay down my house. You're better than me now? You need to treat me differently now? I'm gonna just let that sit in for a second. A guy spends $80,000 on a boat, thinks he's better than a guy who chose to pay down his mortgage. I'm gonna just let that sink in. You're literally sitting here trying to tell me that you're better and that you deserve more and that you should be treated better than I should be treated because I chose to take care of this and you chose to do this? Guys, let it sink in. Like, think about what you're actually saying here. Think about what we're doing. Think about how are we comparing people and putting people in classes and tiers based on their wealth and health and mean. Like, think about what you're doing. Like, you're literally in an area that you probably don't want to be in, or you're a dude who really just always thinks they're better than everybody. Okay, guys, I'm not holding nothing back in this podcast because this is my podcast and it's sponsored by me. So I got no one that I need to be looking out for. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna drop it right here, and I'm gonna let it sit because that's what I'm gonna do because it's mine. We're back. Welcome back, CoAnglers Chronicles podcast. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's the 2024. I should title it like no I would say, you know, it's a phrase, but I'm not going to say that phrase. I'll probably say my favorite phrase I say now is, what's next? I said it, now what? What's going to happen now? Exactly. Nothing. Okay, we're still going to go fishing. I'm still going to show up. You still going to show up. We still going to do what we need to do. But I'm saying the mindset of co-anglers thinking, and it works both ways. Co-anglers thinking that all boaters are out to get them. Every boater doesn't want me to do well. This guy backboated me. This guy, he wanted me to give him $250 for gas. There's a divide that's being made, and these guys are starting to hate these guys, and these guys are starting to hate these guys, and these ladies are starting to hate these guys, and these guys are starting to hate these. Like, when you do that, and then you try to put everybody in the boat together and ask us to play nice, you're live scoping. I don't see nothing. You cut my graph off, so I can't even live scope with you. I, being a figurative of speech, I'm not saying that's happened to me, although it has. I've also had guys fish too shallow that I couldn't even catch. They were shallower than I fish. I spent the whole time whacking trees out of my face and getting hit in the eyeball with tree branches because he was that daggone shallow. He tried to fish on the bank. We were in a boat, and he tried to put the boat on the bank to then go fish out in the water. We were that shallow all day. This is me just trying to get a tree branch out of my hair. And at that time, I had my full-on afro. My hair was way out there. So I'm literally getting tree branches and spiders out my head all day. That's what I was doing. He won't catch no fish either, so it didn't even, I don't know why we would get that much up in a tree for him to still not catch fish. We still won't doing nothing. So complete, whatever, man. It was one of the days that I just wish they'd take me back to the boat ramp. We've all had those days. I'm just trying to, like, with anything, I'm trying to be honest, and I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to let you guys see it from both sides. So that's why I have the whole podcast. That's why I started this whole thing. I want to be able to see it from both sides, talk to everybody, and say what it is that actually needs to be said. If you don't think co-anglers can ruin days, if you want to be that co-angler, be like, you know, I stay out of the way, that's fine. You haven't ruined anybody's day. That's great. But there are co-anglers that have legitimately gone out of their way to ruin a boater's day. They feel like they're being backboated. They skip their bait wherever they want to, and it's a real tense situation that can turn negative and may ultimately end up, you know, in an unfortunate situation. If you have that much clash, that much bashing. Same thing with the four faces sonar. People are always talking about every video, every comment, everything you see people talking about four face. And then somebody commented, you don't like to look at the back of people's heads. How many flips do you think these anglers make when they're trying to catch flipping fish too, guys? Flip, 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 flip. Yes, it looks better going into a lily pad or a big clump of grass. The fishing looks better than them being out in 30, 40, 100 feet just casting out at a brush pile. It looks better. Their head might be straight forward instead of just down. So there's little subtle differences. Like they're not looking, if you're flipping, you're looking straight at. You're not looking down at the dock. You're looking straight at. So you're flipping, you're talking, you're flipping, you're talking, you're flipping. You're engaging, you're entertaining. When you're live scoping, you are just looking down. You're waiting till you see your bait swim. Guys are getting better at looking back and talking, and this is what I'm doing. I'm waiting. All that fish is coming. Oh, I think he's got it. He's got it. And then when they were showing the dual side-by-side graphs of the fish coming up and the guy fighting the fish and all that, it can be entertaining. Some people like that. You got to understand these companies are trying to keep up with what's going on. But from a co-angler side, from a boater side, it's getting real interesting. And I'm going to be here to talk about it. I'm going to be here to talk about it. So, guys, stay tuned. I wanted to keep this under 20 minutes, honestly, but we went a little bit over, but it's okay. We just touched the surface, literally just touched the surface on this topic. But co-anglers there needs to be something done, but there can't just be a co-angler only trail. I don't think there's 100 guys out there that just want to drive their boat around and not fish while co-anglers compete against each other. I don't think that's a thing. And then just saying, go buy a boat. Everybody's not in a financial position to buy a boat. That doesn't mean you shouldn't get to enjoy the opportunity of going fishing. That's not a thing. Saying that somebody can't enjoy something because they don't have enough money to be able to do it. I can't do Formula One racing. Okay, because I can't afford a Formula One race car. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get that. That makes sense, right? I can't. If I want to play with the big dogs, I need to get right. I need to get my Formula One racing right. I need to do it. There's no co-anglers in Formula. There's no co-anglers in baseball. There's no co-anglers in basketball. They throw the guys that want to get better in the league beneath. Okay, throw them in the league beneath. So how do you throw co-anglers in the league beneath and make them work their way up? How do you do that? If y'all got the answer to that, let me know. How do you start a co-angler league? Did somebody start a co-angler league? How they gonna get out there if they don't got boats and they're second-class citizens? They probably don't own cars. They probably don't have homes. The way people talk about co-anglers, they don't have homes, they don't have cars, they don't have families, nobody loves them. If that's how they talk about co-anglers, how are they supposed to get to a tournament? They don't have pets. Pets don't love them. Dogs love everybody, but dogs don't love co-anglers. Dogs, they see co-anglers, they can identify co-anglers by the smell of co-anglers smell bad, so they see them and they just run away. Dogs even run away from co-anglers because that's the way that people try to carry this thing. They try to make it seem like co-anglers don't even belong on the earth. Like people, politicians, people, zombies, and then co-anglers are underneath of that. Like they're a little bit beneath dead people that come back to life. Then there's co-anglers. That's where they put co-anglers at. Like, make it make sense to me. I don't understand. I'm a co-angler. I have a car. I have a home. I have kids. I have a dog. I have $10,000 to $15,000 worth of rods and probably $15,000 worth of baits. I own my car outright. I own my other car outright. My house is a pretty good amount of it's been paid for already. I have my own clothing brand. I've got 40,000 TikTok followers. I've got 11,000 followers on Instagram. I have 5,000 YouTube followers, but I guess I'm just broke and busted and disgusted. Like, yeah, you know, I guess that's just life of co-angler. Just, I don't even know how I have a phone. As a co-angler, I don't know how I have a phone. How did I get a phone? Is this a prepaid? Is this a burner phone? That's what I'm using. I'm filming on a burner phone with cinematic mode. That's what I'm doing. I don't think that's the case. So, guys, we're going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to keep on going. We're going to keep on having these podcasts. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the CoAnglers Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Ty. If you've never met me, you don't know what's going on. I'm generally a very nice person. I'm very polite, and I like to engage in healthy discussion. I don't like the bashing and the back and forth and the talking about people. I like to try to encourage. I like to try to uplift, but some topics you just got to hit straight on because people are not going to understand what you're saying if you sugarcoat it or if you give them an example. You need to, hi baby, you need to make it. A little bit about me for backstory. I'm a dad. I am married. I've been married for a very long time. I have 4 kids. I have a lot of patience. I have a lot of understanding. I have a lot of love. I thoroughly enjoy life and every bit of life. I get down just like everybody else. I get up just like everybody. I get happy, excited like everybody else. I get knocked down like everybody else. I bounce back up just like everybody else, or like some people do. Some people don't bounce back. I try my best to bounce back. I love God, and I'm very thankful for everything that He's blessed me with and my family with. So that's a little bit about me. I don't know if I ever do this a lot on these videos. It's a little bit about me. So you know what it's coming from. I'm a co-angler. I've competed as co-angler for 3 years now. This is my 4th year. I'm a co-angler. I'm a co-angler champion. I was the best co-angler that day on the water. I was the 4th best this day, and I have another trophy up top that you guys can't see. There you go, just so you know it's real. The 5th place trophy up there of me. 5th place trophy up there. 3 times I was literally the best, if not the best co-angler out there. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not out here just blowing smoke. I'm not out here talking just to hear myself talk. I'm telling you guys what's going on. I'm trying to give you information I think will be helpful. And I hope it's received well. If it's not, you know, it's okay. I'm just going to keep making the videos, and I'm going to keep trying to share some information. I have co-angler tips videos. I teach co-anglers how to be respectful, how to handle your business on the water, how to get it done on the water. I have a whole class seminar. I try my best to encourage and uplift everybody, but sometimes we dive into the issues that are necessary. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to doing even more of these. Number 1 episode, 2024 podcast. What's next? We're going even deeper. Episode 2 is going to be me, and then episode 3 we're going to bring in some guests. 4, 5, 6 we're going to keep on bringing in guests after that. I'm going to just kind of get it ramped back up right now, and then we're going to go from there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, another episode of CoAnglers Chronicles podcast. Peace. I'm out.